Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Wonderful.
Look at somebody and say, I like you.
I like you.
I know, come on, some of you didn't even turn your head. Turn to somebody and say, I like you. Look at them in the eyeball. I like you. That's it, made you laugh. You know, there's a lot of times people turn and say to somebody, I love you. But you know, I learned to say, I like you. Because, you know, it becomes a cliche. And when you're raising kids and all, you know, you always love your kids. But when they get teenagers, there's times you don't like them. Hello.
Amen.
It's like Mark Twain said that when you have a teenager, 13, 14 years old, you don't know what to do with them. You put them in a pickle barrel. And you leave the knot out. And you feed them through the knot hole until they turn 18. And then when they turn 18, you close up the knot hole. It's good to know that you can come to the house of the Lord and the church and find friendship and find fellowship and find people that you like and people that are like you. It's one thing good about the church, and that's one thing that happened with my wife and I when we got saved. Those early days, we walked in and, you know, I had to cut off all of my friendships because they were either, you know, on their way to jail or the police were looking for me, and if I went to them, they got in trouble. So I had to cut off all my relationships. And it was really kind of an awkward thing because I was around a lot of people where I grew up and all in my city and beach town, and I was a surfer and did all that and was on surf teams and traveled all over the world. I've surfed from Africa to Australia to Hawaii to lived in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean and all over the world. And because of that, I had a lot of friends. And in that process, I had to just shut it down. And then all of a sudden, I'm in church with a lot of people. And it was a challenge because I then had to make new friends. And I mean, you know, that's not an easy process. And so I had to learn, and there were people that I would have never hung around with. I mean, there were people that were geeky, there were people that were, you know, older, and there was people that were just straight, and there was people that were just, come on. And they had no connection. I had no connection to them. And I went in there, and I went, what am I going to do? But that's what really was the saving grace of God, because I made new friends. My pastor was a heroin addict, and he had been in, was on TV yesterday. They were testifying about him yesterday on TV at that big prayer meeting in Philadelphia. And he was in Fort Apache, Rikers, you know, the Bronx Zoo, all the big prisons, and he was on the grave detail at Sing Sing. And in all that process, so when I got saved, you know, I could identify with him because he'd been in the same world, my world, so that was good. But he assigned me, it was a really funny thing, he assigned me a guy that became my kind of a mentor. And he assigned me somebody totally not like me. A giant guy, about 6'5", German. A big German guy. And this guy, oh, and he laughed. Ha, ha, ha. He's like, ja, would you could like it. I'm going, oh my God. And I couldn't understand him at times. What'd you say? You know, and he'd say stuff. And he would just, if I didn't show up in church, he was on my case. I mean, if I didn't show up in church, that big giant guy would come up and say, where are you? What are you doing? God saved you. God gave His blood for you. God gave His life for you. What do you mean you're not in church? Okay, you know. I don't know if the guy was going to whack on the head, what was going to happen. But he was after me. And you know what? Let me help you with something. Some of you that are so busy looking, I'm preaching. You can't focus about every distraction that goes on. Because if you do, you'll miss the moment God had a word for you. Look, I've got the mic, so if somebody dies beside you, just let them die. We'll raise them up after service. Focus is a hard thing. A lot of people never succeed in God because they don't know how to focus. The Bible says, bring every thought to the obedience of Christ, casting down vain imaginations and everything that highly exalts itself above the knowledge of God. If you learn to focus, I'm a great shot with a gun or rifle. Tremendous. I can knock a squirrel out of a tree straight in the head. At least 100 feet in the air, I can knock a squirrel right out of the tree. Boom, square shot right in the head. I knock a goose down at 300 feet. Knock him straight down. It's because I know how to focus. And I used to box. And I used to be in the streets, and I used to fight a lot. And I learned if I didn't focus, I woke up. So I learned in a fight that if I wanted to go to sleep, I had found another way to go to sleep. So I learned how, in a fight, stay awake, stay focused. So I urge you today to stay focused, because I come with a word today for you. And God wants to say something to you, but if you let your brain think about what you're going to eat afterwards, and where you got to go, and all your stupid job stuff, and everything that doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Amen.
Because today you're right here. Tomorrow you may be dead. So learn to say, Lord, thank you. God, you put me here today. I'm going to get everything I can out of this day. I'm going to milk this thing to the max. I'm not going to let anybody to the left of me, to the right of me, distract me. Because God, you sovereignly kept me alive for this moment to listen, to hear, and to receive from you.
Amen.
Now to settle that. So I had to find friends, and this German guy became my friend. So he'd take me to jail ministries, and he'd take me out to places so I could learn to testify and share my story and all that. And one day, him and I were at the church, and we got locked in the janitor's closet. Now, it was a little teeny closet, a little slop sink, and a little bucket, but it was small. And here I am in there with this big guy and me. And that wasn't cool for me. I didn't like the fact that I'm shut up in a closet with a guy. And so I'm in there, and he starts singing. He's a great singer. He sang on the worship team. But he sang, no, one of those deep, and he'd start to bellow. And I'm going, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go out of this room. And he was witnessing to me. He had me in the corner. And he's talking to me about Jesus. And then he'd sing a little bit. And he said, you watch, God will make a way. No matter where you get shut up in, no matter what problem you get in, God will make a way to get out. He's preaching to me. And I'm thinking, Jesus, deliver me, man. Deliver me. Finally, he said, come here. And he got up, he picked me up, put me up on his back. The guy was monstrous. He said, go up in the ceiling. I went up in the ceiling and turned the towel around, and I could see I could crawl across and go out into the hallway and drop down and then come back the other way and get in the door. And so he pushed me through. I got out, came in and let him out. He said, look, man, he said, you set me free today. And I said, what are you talking about? The whole time, there was a message in that. Every single thing he did was a message. And I began to learn that God was going to give me friends that had something to give to me, not something to take away from me. Because most of my friends wanted to be around me because I had a lot of dope, and because I was a lot of things other than that, and because of that, they wanted to be my friend. Now I had to change my format of what friendship really was, and friendship had to do with people that wanted to concern themselves about my life. Was I going to make it? Am I okay? And what can I do to change? What can I do to be a better husband, a better father? What can I do to change my life, be a better worker, etc., etc.? These were the new friends I got, and those friends helped me make it in God. If you want to learn anything, learn this. Your friends that were the friends out there may not be the friends that you carry with you the rest of your life. They may not make it with you. One of the things you'll learn that's joyful is to let go of those friends and embrace the ones that God puts in your life, because they got something to give you, not something to take away. Now, here's what happened. In my process, after that series of time, the Lord put something in me, so I now had something. And I went back to my friends. Policemen were getting saved at my church. 2 cops came in one Sunday morning and saw me sitting on the platform and came to the altar. They got saved. They used to arrest me all the time. And the 2 of them got saved that Sunday. My 9th grade bus driver threw me off the bus in the 9th grade, as 9 years old, when I was in a fight. She threw me off the bus in May and said I could not come back to the bus in September. So I never got to ride a bus again because I got in fights all the time. And then I was thrown out of school in the 8th grade by the science teacher, grabbed me by my butt, threw me out the door, said, you are not coming back in my classroom. I punched the principal in the stomach in the 5th grade, was thrown out of school, jumped out of a 2-story window, landed on the assistant principal's hood of his car, and dented that. And so school and I just didn't get along real well. And I went and